She said, you know, he's older, like you shouldn't prolong it, you shouldn't play games, he doesn't have time to play, he probably wants a family at this point. Because she was young too, she didn't really understand much wisdom, you know? It's like you wouldn't let somebody just come into your house, destroy it and leave. And you wouldn't do that with your heart. But one thing I don't do is I don't control art. Like, I don't restrict it, I don't put it in a box, I don't do that. It really is a ride. It really is a ride. It's not a one-line thing. It really is, you know. I was a little bit younger and I was dating a guy who, I wouldn't say he was much older, but he was in a different decade. He had everything together and it was a really surreal, deep connection. And I remember going home and calling my best friend and telling her about it. And she was actually there with me that night. And she was like, she gave me the wrong advice. She said, you know, he's older, like you shouldn't prolong it, you shouldn't play games, he doesn't have time to play, he probably wants a family at this point. Because she was young too, she didn't really understand much wisdom, you know. And I remember because of that, I sent him like a really cringy text, like something about, what if I fly and I fall, something like that, like something really, really cheesy. And he responded with something cheesy back. Yeah, like something like, oh yeah, fly or whatever, you know, something like that. And then it turned out he was a playboy, love bombing every other girl around my age too. So that's how that story went. But I think, you know, the whole idea of this is love and just being afraid to open up and guarding your heart and being afraid to love. And so I kind of used that cringe little text when he was like, yeah, just fly, you know, you're good, as a little inspiration for that idea. You know, the style of the song is actually interesting because I'm a really big pop girl. I love pop, but this is the first time I'm ever trying out something lyrical / guitar. And the entire album, and that's what I love about it, it's a mix of things. It's not just like one genre. I don't like to fit art into a box or into restrictions, but a couple of the songs would be like this. And it's my first time ever trying it out. And it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I wrote that in a very interesting time of my life. And for the first time, I kind of broke my non-pop virginity. And
okay.
And I liked it. So, and I liked it. I think the biggest thing is to value yourself actually and truthfully. And then once you value yourself, once you value your heart, once you value the love that you give, it's like you wouldn't let somebody just come into your house, destroy it and leave. And you wouldn't do that with your heart. And I think that that's the biggest thing. I don't think, you know, younger girls or anyone should be afraid necessarily to fall in love or to, you know, allow certain experiences. I think it's more so once you know your value, then you also are very discerning about who you let in, who's worthy of even, you know, being around you. So I think once you know that, then everything else falls into place. So much on that. It really is a ride. It really is a ride. It's not a one-line thing. It really is, you know, the name of the album is Shades of Love, but it really is shades. Shades to music, shades to everything, and there's something there for everybody. I'm sure everybody can find something to connect because there's different instrumentals with it, there's different colors with it, there's different styles to it in a way, like mixes of styles, which was a step of boldness for me to take because usually people are like, you know, if it's an album, everything's got to be the same. But one thing I don't do is I don't control art. Like, I don't restrict it, I don't put it in a box, I don't do that. It's just freely and however it wants to come out, and it came out super beautiful, and I can't wait for people to hear. But more on that later. For now, I'm just giving the people this one piece of candy to chew on and see how they like it. You know, it is about love, but it's not necessarily about romantic love. Even if it sounds like it, most of the songs were not inspired by romantic love. It's just experiences of love and relationships and relation to other people, whether it be friendships, whether it be your guy friend, whether it be something that didn't even work out, whether it be your girlfriends. You know, I think it's just about love in general and about your own heart, and just kind of overcoming that fear through hearing all the different experiences and just getting to the other side of it.